Does it matter what diet I follow? Do I have to be a vegetarian? Well, let's look at it this way. St. Francis was not a vegetarian. In those days, it would have been very difficult to be a vegetarian. But does it help to be a vegetarian? That's the important thing. Yes, it does. The food that you eat influences your consciousness. And if you eat, especially animals of more highly, the meat of more highly evolved animals like pigs and cattle, it affects your body. The animals, when they're killed, have great fear and great anger, and they know that they're going to be killed. Somebody lived on the route, somebody I knew, lived on the route where cattle was being taken to the slaughterhouse. And those cattle were making a noise that he knew was fear. And anybody who's worked in a slaughterhouse, he knows that there's fear there. That fear, that anger, that rejection of everything is a vibration that is left in the meat. And people who eat meat, especially those two, cattle and pigs, it is harmful spiritually. If you must eat meat, and this is a story that Dr. Lewis told when he was a young man of 28 or so, and Yogananda came to America. Dr. Lewis gave up eating meat. After a while, he began to have mysterious aches and pains all through his body. And he went to different doctors, and the doctors didn't know what to do about it. And so finally went to Master and said, well, Master, what is the problem? And Master meditated a moment, and he said, it's because the cells of your body have been accustomed to eating meat, and they miss it. So he said, once a week, eat a little lamb or fish, and it'll go away. And he did so, and it went away. Lamb and fish, they're less conscious. Sheep are very, very stupid animals. They'll get stuck in a barbed wire fence, and they just have to be pulled out. But if you have to eat meat, eat sheep, eat lamb's meat or fish. Bengalis think of fish as a part of their vegetarian diet. But in truth, vegetarianism is much better. Don't be a fanatic, however. Some people go to too great lengths to follow a very rigid diet. This, oh dear, what is it? The vegan diet, in which you don't eat any eggs or cheese or milk. I think, well, what does a little baby eat? Should it not drink its mother's milk? There's something fanatical about that kind of diet, and I think people who do that don't do so well by their bodies. Yogananda was once invited to, by a company, a convention or whatever, a group of people who believed in unfired foods. They only ate raw food. But they were too one-sided, and you can't find God through your diet, for heaven's sake. It's a pure heart. Jesus said, blessed are the pure in heart, for they shall see God. He didn't say, blessed are those who are pure in stomach or in body. Anyway, these people invited Master to it, and then they wanted him to speak afterwards. And he demurred. He said, I'd rather not. And they kept insisting. He said, you won't like what I have to say. Oh, you must say something. So he got up and he spoke, and he said, well, in the first place, I have never eaten a worse meal in my life. In the second place, it is totally fanatical and one-sided. And they were all angry and getting upset. You don't know what you're talking about. He said, God tells me to tell you this, that if you keep on, in 15 days, someone here will die of malnutrition, and the police will come in and disband this whole thing. And in fact, that's what happened. But we must be balanced in our diet. Remember, it's a pure heart that finds God, not a pure diet.